こんにちは、井口晃です。本日はですね、特別な対談を、お届けしていきたいと思います。今日はですね、特別なゲストにですね、アメリカからわざわざ来ていただいた、世界的なコンサルタントとして有名なですね、エリック・クルーガーさんに来ていただいております。Eric, thank you for coming.
It's great to be with you.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's talk. First of all, can you introduce yourself to the audience who's watching?
I'm so glad to be in Japan.
Yeah.
I've been in Japan many times since, actually, I shouldn't say a year, but 1974. And,
oh, wow.
But I've been back many times.
Mm-hmm.
As a consultant, I worked for 20 years or so with the Franklin Covey Company.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the introduction of Seven Habits to Japan by James and Eugene Skinner, I came over and did the first 7 Habits program in English with James.
Oh, wow. So you basically told James about 7 Habits.
Yes, and I guess that's my one claim to fame. I got James Skinner how to facilitate
that's awesome.
And teach 7 Habits, and dear friend.
Right.
But those habits of effectiveness have permeated my life, my family's lives, and I've been fortunate enough to work with countries and companies, organizations, families around the world. And I particularly enjoy the work in Japan.
That's amazing. Yeah, you've been coming back here many times and since 1974, so which is what, almost 40 years?
Well, it's a while.
It's awesome. We met. So when I was in the college, we were just talking. Like I was 20 years old. Now I'm 38. So 18 years ago.
Yes, 18 years.
In Tokyo. Then I was in the U.S. I went to SUNY Buffalo. So I was living in Buffalo, upstate New York. Then I visited you in Salt Lake City. Then I stayed at your house and you showed me around. Yeah.
Those were great times.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. So today, I want to ask you a few questions because these audience interested in about how to be more successful, or how to find my passion, or how to achieve even more. So those are the questions they've been thinking. Because since you coach and consulted so many companies all over the world and in Japan as well, then you saw so many successful people. Then I'm sure you saw the patterns and of the companies or successful entrepreneurs. If let's say people who watching this video, they say, I want to be more successful. Where I start.
Well, certainly success starts with ourselves. It's, in fact, if we're going to build a business, the first thing we should do is, rather than focus on the business, we should focus on ourselves, our character, our competence, and make sure that we're a person that other people can really find to be trustworthy and of high credibility, that we've got the abilities, talents, knowledge, skill to really significantly make a difference. And then once we've got a sense of who we are, that will help us as we build relationships. And those relationships, I found to be relationships of trust, are really, it's trust in today's world, I think, is something that's underrated, but it really is the economic currency of the global economy.
Absolutely. You said that we gotta, if we want to be more successful, we gotta start working on ourselves, right?
Right.
So now, thanks to you or James or many other authors and speakers in Japan, the personal development getting so popular, and people I need to learn more, read more, go seminars, right? So what would be the if people watching this video, if they want to work on themselves, where they should start?
The most critical thing, I believe, is that they develop a daily habit. A daily habit of reading, studying, taking care of themselves, eating properly, sleeping, drinking water, just really working on themselves and building relationships that help them so that they're very credible. To be able to focus then on those relationships, they will be able to network into and help and work in organizations, and they'll be able to build teams. But you say, how do we do that? How do you really do it? And I found that if you understand the framework, if you understand how to frame the work, and if you know where to start and what to do next, then you get significant better results. And it really starts with doing, but the doing really starts here right in the mind, and with how we see things.
Right. I like that you mentioned the daily habits, which is important for the health and also for the entrepreneurs, or for the family as well.
Yes.
What would you say important habits for successful entrepreneurs?
If I look at some important habits, one would be that I'm really able to focus on vision. Because how we see things is so very vital. I'm able to build relationships. I'm able to do something that I really have passion about. I'm not just doing what other people do, but I have a sense of who I am and what my unique capacity is. In fact, there's a marvelous book, it's called Finding Your Element. And it's where you really are focused on finding your element. And when you find that element, that's what you're passionate about, what you feel like you've got real talent and gifts to do. If you can do that, then your business is no longer work. Yes, it's work, but it's no longer just work. It's fun. It's something that you're making a contribution to others.
I like that, because many people, especially in Japan, as you know, many people call themselves salaryman, working only company for the salary, or even some entrepreneurs, they do all because of its work. I have to earn money, I have to support my family. But if you want to be very successful, the beyond the success, you want to create a vision that which is what kind of world you want to create in the future, or you have to have the passion which you love, so that the work is not work anymore.
So I think it starts with being happy. And having a sense of fulfillment. That you're doing things that are meaningful to you, that you enjoy doing. And I find if you're able to do that, then you actually start you start succeeding, you start having success. But many people say, well, I want to be successful. And I would suggest, yes, you want to be successful, but even more so that there's a level beyond success. And that level I found is a level what we call significance.
Significant.
That there's a level where it's not about yourself anymore. It's about making a contribution to others. It's about helping others grow, develop, learn. It's about working for a bigger why. I look at Japan, for instance. Japan's population is declining. Has been for a few years. It's getting older. That spells significant problem for this nation in the future. So what do you do about that? Well, to me, what needs to happen is people need to work together to solve that problem.
Absolutely.
And I'm dedicated, interestingly enough, as a gaijin, from the U.S. to help people in the country do that.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned about you have a client in Fukui, Sabai City.
Yes.
Yeah, can you talk about that? Then how did you meet and how did you make different?
We actually met at a seminar I was doing a few years ago around discovering your mission.
Nice.
And he came, and I've been coaching him for a few years now.
Yeah.
A young entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. He's an entrepreneur, but it's second generation business.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
But he's very successful business. Mm. Interestingly enough, this is a young man who when in high school, when he was asked where he wanted to go to college, he said America. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, what's your second choice? Yeah. America. What's your third choice? America.
That's nice.
And the counselor said to him, you can't go to America. And he says, I'm going to go to school in America.
Wow.
See, he had a vision about where he wanted to go.
Very persistent.
And now he's, in late 30s, a business owner, very successful entrepreneur. Wow. And he's working in the city of Sabaya. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Most people know Sabaya's eyeglasses.
Yeah, it's a famous, yeah.
Well, excuse me. I found that Sabaya is a city of cooperation. There's a very cooperative environment there. They have a mayor, Makino-san, quite visionary. Nice. 77, 78 years old now. Right. Very energetic. And he's built, and not just him, but the people of the city and area there have built a very cooperative environment between industry, government, education, and they're growing. The city's actually growing. It's not shrinking.
Wow. It's very rare in Japan, especially in the local cities.
Very rare.
Wow, that's impressive. So you've been helping, consulting the company and the city as well.
Working with this company, and as I was working with them, I found that the city was doing really cool things. And I'm saying, the country of Japan, other cities in Japan need to hear what this city is doing.
Right.
So I'm more of a kind of saying, okay, we need to tell your message to a broader audience.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. What else? So you help so many companies and entrepreneurs in the past. What would you say, so entrepreneurs like me, so we want to grow, right? We want to become more, we want to do more, we want to help more people, we want to make more profit. We want to share my message, to the broader audience. Like, what would you advise them?
To give.
Yeah.
And to serve. It's interesting, it's not about, yes, it is about making money, because if there's no margin, there's no mission.
Right.
But we need to be thinking about how do we make a contribution so that on everything that we're doing, we're adding value to our industry, we're adding value in our families, we're adding value in our communities, in the country, even in the world, so that contribution is something that we can focus on. I find that service is another way. To find ways to give service in our communities. Yeah. Now, okay, you're very successful, and you've learned over the years that it's not about you.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's about others. It's about the mission. It's about what people that you're serving.
That's right. Yeah, I think many people, especially in the beginning of their journey, like they caught up that, oh, what if I speak in the public, like what other people think about me, or if I speak on a video, like what others think about me, or what if I look like an idiot, or so many people kind of focus on themselves, but you said that it's not about you, it's about them, it's about people, how you can contribute to other people.
I find that it's really vital in that we surround ourselves with good people.
Yeah.
We associate ourselves with organizations where we can learn and grow and develop and network and to help and help. Because literally we become the average of the people we associate with.
Absolutely, yeah.
In fact, if you look at yourself, you'd probably say, I've associated with myself with these people, and over the years I've learned so much from them that I feel like I've almost become like them.
Yeah, completely.
So what we want to do is associate ourselves with good people, with like-minded people, with people we can learn from, we can share from, that we can have breakthroughs with.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we can have significant experiences with.
Yeah, like who you spend time with, who you become.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think our common friends, Joe Polish.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's why we reconnected again.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you're surrounded with successful entrepreneurs in U.S. or all over the world. What would you say? People who just starting out, or I want to make good network. I want to meet more successful people. I want to hang out with more successful people. What would you advise them?
Invest in the relationship.
Invest in relationship.
Yeah, invest. And that's invest yourself, your time, your talent, to be actually giving, because every person has so much to share. And new people think, oh, I don't have anything to share. I don't have anything to give. I don't have anything of value. But literally, we each have much to share. And we can learn together. And it's that learning together that creates really positive outcomes.
I like that. Yeah. Also, the one thing I was so impressed, and I still remember, because you mentioned the importance of habits, right? Daily habits. Then you obviously have families, and you just showed me how many kids and grandkids?
Well, we've been blessed with 5 married children now. That's all 5 are married, finally, and we have 17
grandkids. That's amazing.
So it's a little rowdy at our house when the family gets together.
Yeah, it's amazing. Because I know many successful entrepreneurs, Japanese friends, they are successful, they have money, they have everything, but their family situation is not the best, I'm sure same as in US, I want to make money, I'll be successful and rich and famous, but maybe they get divorced or their family situation is not great. And so I remember, because I was staying in your place over the weekend, then Sunday morning, you guys wake up 6 a.m., then walk around the house. That's the habits you had. Then obviously I was slept in. Then, you guys had breakfast, then went to church, then back to the house. Then it was 3. I remember we start having the dinner at 5 p.m. Then have 3 hours long dinner, right, on the Sunday. That's family time. Can you talk about more daily habits for the families?
When our family was young, one of the things that you allude to is in the morning we would always gather the family, our family together, and we'd have a little family study meeting.
Oh wow! In the morning. Oh wow!
Early. And we would study some scripture, we'd pray, we'd give each other a family hug.
Oh, wow.
Because we have a family motto.
Right.
Our family motto is love, 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 build, build, build.
Wow, that's amazing.
And return home with honor with no empty chairs. Meaning, not get the honors, not receive honors from people, but be honorable. be worthy of people's trust, be worthy of people's care, love people in a way that where we can serve them. And we all have difficulties.
Right.
So there's always a place. There's always a chair at the table.
Wow.
So that's been very meaningful for us and our family over the years as we've had this sense of mission and working together.
Yeah, it's amazing. I remember. Also, we in our entrepreneurs group, we always talk about the exit plan, not only the business but life exit plan, because everybody gonna die someday, and like end of the day or end of your life, like whose hands you wanna hold, or like who you wanna be, like what will be the last day, that's what we always talk about. And I remember because you have a great mentor like Stephen Covey. Then he passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
Then how was that? Because he was amazing like businessman, but I heard that he's like amazing family guy as well. What kind of the less important lesson did you learn from him?
Well, it's interesting that you would ask that question because he has more children than me and more grandchildren.
Wow.
But I know the thing that he would do is he would, no matter what, his children and grandchildren would know that he loved them.
Oh, wow.
And he was so fun to be around. He was a jokester, a real prankster.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you wouldn't know that from him, but he. Right. And it was just filled with energy, but you knew that he cared. Right. And I think it's important for us all to really care for each other, because I believe that we're brothers and sisters.
Right. Yeah.
That we literally are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Absolutely.
And so as we look at that, we have these dimensions of life, the physical, economic, the social, emotional, the mental, the spiritual. Yeah. And this spiritual dimension is just a dimension about contribution and legacy. Right. It's the thing you're talking about who do we want to be when we finish? What do we want to be known for? Do we want to be known for having lots of money? Do you want to be known for having lots of money and having made a significant contribution in the world?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe make our little dent in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like leaving creating the legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that really comes from that fire within us. That's Stephen Covey would always talk to us about, where these needs overlap that I've talked about. Where those overlap, that's the light, that's the fire, that's where the passion burns within us. It's that fire that gives us the desire to get up every morning and to move forward and to serve each other. That's amazing. I mean, think what would happen in this world if we would love one another, if we would treat each other with care and kindness as a brother or a sister. Well, in some cases, we have struggle with a brother or sister, but
sure.
You know what I'm talking about, that we're family, because we literally are a big family. Yeah. And why not really move together rather than move apart? To value our diversity, to strengthen one another.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna invite you again back to Japan to speak in one of our conference. Could you? So that's for entrepreneurs, business owners, people who is interested in starting a business. Could you tell us what you're gonna teach for us, please?
So it'll be interesting because my approach is to really work. I don't want to be the sage on the stage. I'd much rather work and meet the needs of the people. So I will seek to understand, and then we will focus, I believe, on really understanding frameworks of success, frameworks of significance. We'll focus on how do we build trust. How do we build trust in ourselves, in our relationships, and in our organizations? What can we do to really make a significant difference in our organization? If I'm a small business person, what are the steps I need to take to help me be successful, even be significant? And so as we work on these frameworks, languages, and process of getting better results, I think we'll find that we'll have some fun times together.
Yeah, absolutely. We just talked a little bit, like before the shooting video. I like that you talk about mindset. It's, it's inside out. It's coming from you. So it's not only like learn, but how you're going to implement who you become, and the importance of the trust. I think it's, we just mentioned that in Japanese society, it's high trust society, but it's been changing. So now it's a great time to have you then talk about, importance of the trust or speed of trust. That's amazing. We're excited to have you back in, next time.
Well, I really look forward to being with the
group,
people, and meeting everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want to say like maybe just one last message?
Well, I would encourage that we would focus on our greatness. As I work in Japan, I see people who are so high integrity, so caring, so compassionate, have so much to offer. And my desire is to couple with you and to be able to really connect in positive ways to further this country. I am concerned that we do the things now to prepare us for the next generations that are yet to come.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.